Welcome to our diversity training program, brought to you by Melissa Bach, Alicia Bayless, Jessica Geis, Robin Morgan, Shay Page, Malin Stevenson, and Valencia Williams.
Abraham Lincoln coined one of the all-time best quotes when he said, "United we stand, divided we fall." This quote represents strength and unity. If there is unity among people, their strength increases. This is the basis of diversity training in believing that people from all different backgrounds, cultures, genders, ethnicities, and races can stand together and achieve greatness, no matter the differences amongst them. There are many purposes for diversity training. One of the goals of this training is to raise awareness of the value of collaborating with people of different cultures, races, genders, ethnicities, beliefs, experiences, and ideas. For diversity to be effective, organizations need to embrace inclusion. This involves ensuring that individuals from underrepresented groups feel valued and have opportunities to advance and take on leadership roles. Once a group of individuals can accept their differences, better communication and teamwork is made possible, and there is an increased likelihood of fewer thoughts or actions of prejudice or discrimination. The purpose of diversity training is to make employees understand that even if there are differences amongst the team members that they are working with, a little adjustment in attitude will make for an extraordinary team. To make them not only tolerant of the differences that they see around them, but to value those differences as part of a successful team.
Cognitive diversity theory refers to the difference between team members and characteristics such as expertise, experiences, and perspectives. This approach focuses on different perspectives of multiple people in order to achieve organizational goals. It achieves to manage diversity by actively capitalizing on the unique viewpoints of a diverse workforce. One key component of cognitive diversity theory is that it takes time for diverse groups of people to work together, as they need a warming up period to feel comfortable sharing their ideas as well as hearing ideas of others. According to Fujimoto and Hartel, positive disagreement or mutual understanding of differences for the purpose of learning is truly valued. It's all about being open to new experiences and ideas. A diverse workforce emphasizes that employers must manage in a way that respects the employees' unique perspectives harmoniously. So how do we put that into action? Brecher highlights 5 ideals on how to incorporate cognitive diversity theory into action. First, make it your mission. Second, recruit and hire well. Third, it's all about how you manage. Fourth, shake it up. And fifth, through diversity, you'll be able to overcome any obstacles. Let's make it our mission. Have the CEO and key level executives create a diversity statement and make sure to post it on the website and incorporate it into the HR handbooks so all employees know exactly where you stand from a diversity standpoint. When recruiting, you not only want to have a local voice, but those from farther away as well, just to ensure you have a differing set of ideals, perspectives, opinions, and experiences to bring to the table. So when you're ready to hire, how do you make sure you're hiring the right person? Well, Brecher suggests using behavioral-based scenarios. These are a great way to test someone's cognition and diversity before hiring them. You can really see how they think and solve problems right in front of you before hiring them. As for management, if leaders and managers can't handle conflict and disagreements in a positive way, no staff member will be able to either. Leaders must create a safe space and a culture where people feel they can be accepted for their authentic self, where they're eager to share their ideas no matter how different they may be from someone else's, and where those other people are just as eager to listen to a new idea. So you gotta shake things up. According to Brecher, the best decisions and ideas often come when you eliminate long-standing traditions. Plus, conflict is not always bad. That is one huge key here. Positive conflict can occur when 2 or more people don't agree or have the same viewpoint on a topic. This can really lead to breakthroughs and new ideals and new avenues to be explored for the organization. Collecting differing talents and putting them together is what it's all about. Striving for decisions and ideas that are gathered from different sources, like people with different experiences, opinions, backgrounds, and perspectives. Through this, we see differing talents can really help to push the boundaries of what an organization thought was possible. Brescher puts this idea forward. It's not that every idea or thought has to be right, but that leaders can identify components that have value and recognize that there's often more than one right answer.
The workforce today consists of the widest range of diversity in history. This diversity allows for different levels of experience and points of view, which leads to more innovative ideas, higher quality solutions, and more accurate decisions. Older workers are retiring later, and millennials continue to enter the workforce. This means that teams have a greater mixture of age ranges than ever before. Each generation of worker brings their own level of experience to the team. The younger generation may be more tech-savvy, while the older generation brings historical knowledge and experience. And reverse mentoring, which is when a younger employee mentors an older one, allows knowledge transfer to happen both ways. In today's world of ever-increasing global expansion, global virtual teams are becoming common. Cross-cultural training becomes even more important as virtual teams expand. Global virtual teams consist of individuals from different geographic areas who rarely, if ever, meet face-to-face. With technological advances and more ways to communicate, the need for cross-cultural training in teams intensifies. Holt and Secchi suggests that today's leaders operate in a global context, and being a successful leader in a single context does not equate to being an effective global leader. This is where cross-cultural training comes in.
Next, we will talk about the goals that we are trying to achieve for this training. We wanted to make sure these are not just any goals, but SMART goals. The reason that we use SMART goals is because they are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. The first and most important goal of this training is to make sure everyone understands why we are doing this training, hence understanding the importance of diversity and inclusion in our organization. A few goals we are going to start right now in this training will kick off some of the goals that we will be responsible as a team for achieving after training is complete, and also to ensure that we are keeping up with and measuring goals that will help promote diversity and inclusion throughout your career here. Some of these goals include having all of you take an implicit bias test and discuss results, creating a diversity mission statement right here in this room today as a team, and follow up to make sure that everyone can recite it. We will also be sending out quarterly surveys to see how we're doing and find ways we could possibly improve. Lastly, we would like to set up a bilingual resource and networking group that will meet once a quarter to network with each other. We want to also offer an incentive for all employees who refer candidates to this organization that actually get hired. We can all vote on what the incentive will be. We are always looking for new talent, so an incentive will help bring in more great candidates and help promote diversity. A goal can't be achieved if it's not being measured throughout and in a timely manner. We are hoping that the quarterly surveys will help measure where we are with our goals and how satisfied we are.
The conversation starter is the first activity. The purpose of this activity is to set the tone and provide a safe space for openness and vulnerability during the training. This is a 5 to 10 minute activity and should be done early in the training segment. There are no materials needed. Everyone should go around the room and finish this statement. If you really knew me, blank. This can be anything. For example, if you really knew me, you would know I Ubered to work this morning because my car wouldn't start. This activity allows employees to reflect on how they're feeling and encourages an open dialogue. Since diversity training can be a sensitive subject, this should be discussed carefully and directly, and using this activity will provide a solid foundation to move forward with the rest of your content. 3 Moments activity is designed for employees to learn vital things about each other. It increases empathy and improves relationships by providing the opportunity for each individual to learn something new about each other that may never come up at any other time. This is a 15 to 20 minute activity that requires pens, Post-its, or pre-cut scraps of paper. Everyone should write down the 3 most defining moments of their life on the paper. Each employee should present the moments to the team, and the moments should explain how it shaped who they are today. Everyone should share. This includes the instructor. And remember, the moments that they choose are up to them. Before you discuss key takeaways, please remember to thank everyone for sharing their feedback, and then from there proceed to talk about the things that stuck out to them or encourage them to talk about things further from what they shared. Bias jar activity. This activity is designed to help employees reduce their implicit bias a bit more every day. It also creates individual awareness and helps bring bias into the forefront. This activity requires about 10 to 15 minutes. You would need a jar with a wide neck that would allow for you to reach in, Post-its or pre-cut scraps of papers, and pens. Since we all have biases, whether we think we do or not, this is a great way to overcome those. The specifics of the jar are in reference to biases or non-inclusive language, as well as open a dialogue about the types of biases that you have. So basically, you want to get your group in teams. Small teams are preferable, where it could be 3 to 4, just depends on how big the actual training session is. And then, of course, you want everyone to submit some type of bias or non-inclusive language. So examples of non-inclusive language can be no homo, that's so ghetto, that's so retarded. It's anything that provides a space where someone is not included. Now, you would also want to check biases. So that can also be based on appearance. All Asians look alike. She only got that position because she's petite and she's blonde. I bet that person's African American based on their name. So that's what this particular activity is designed to do. It allows an open forum for everyone to discuss, and it just helps create a dialogue and allow things to come through that will resonate with your employee.
In order to evaluate the success of this training plan, the first step will be an evaluation plan to determine if participants were satisfied with the program and if they found it beneficial. In order for us to get the answer to this question, we will issue a survey to all the participants and ask them some simple questions, and they will fill out whether they strongly disagreed, neither agree, or strongly agree. This will give us a foundation as to whether or not the program was successful as it pertains to participant satisfaction and whether or not they found the program beneficial. And we'll be able to use this information moving forward to maybe make some tweaks and changes and figure out ways that we can improve. The next step for our evaluation plan will be moving on to a level 2 evaluation. This will be used to determine if participants were able to translate the skills that they learned and improve upon them in their everyday lives and if their attitudes have changed. So we will ask them some questions in the beginning just to kind of test their knowledge prior to the start of the program. We'll ask them some open-ended questions such as, what is unconscious bias, how can unconscious bias influence our behavior, and different ways to avoid unconscious bias. Now, upon completion of the program, we'll ask the same short answer questions and compare the results to determine if they were able to gain knowledge and use that as a way to gauge success of the program. The final step for our evaluation plan will be a level 3 evaluation to determine if post-program behavior changes were made. This is taking it a step beyond attitudes and just knowledge of unconscious bias. This is actual tangible changes that were made. In order to determine this, we will have participants anonymously submit their answers to questions such as, the program has clearly changed the way that I think about diverse groups of people during the hiring process. Since the program, I have observed my employees hiring and promoting more diverse groups of people, etc., as a way for us to determine the success of the program in terms of behavior changes.